Hello YouTube, this is Krosama, and here we have today is the high grade Universal Century Moon Gundam. Now what this is essentially a prototype suit to the Sazabi. Kind of odd because I just never seen this in any of the main storylines, but you know, they went ahead and made a manga that is essentially a predecessor to the Char's counterattack. So overall I think this suit looks pretty awesome, and I am so excited to go ahead and show y'all exactly what the details are and the articulation as well as all the gimmicks. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the overall theme of this kit is actually pretty unique. It definitely has that Neo Zeon vibe, but definitely has the aesthetics of a Gundam. Now what also makes this kit stand out is the fact that it's a high grade, but if you actually looked from a distance, you can really mistake this for a real grade. The amount of details that's on this kit is actually pretty impressive, just in comparison with a lot of the other high grades that are actually out there in the market. Now looking at the details, the amount of details in the head sculpture is really cool. I love the fact that it's going to have this green that you can go ahead and paint in, pretty much using any kind of paint like a Gundam paint marker, or if you want to use like acrylics or lacquer, you can definitely use that. But in the front cover, it's definitely going to have that green. But the one big thing that's going to make this kit seem so awesome is the fact that it doesn't use any stickers. So like the eyes, these are actually just the parts. It's just a green piece that connects in the inside of the head for the front camera, the eyes, as well as the back camera depicted right there. Now this is also going to come with a clear piece, so if you want to go ahead and paint it, you know, however you want, you can definitely go ahead and do so. But I went ahead and kept with the solid green piece for the eyes instead of using the clear pieces. The chest also has a great amount of detail with the pipes that you can go ahead and paint. I used a chrome marker just to go ahead and give it that nice little, like, you know, shiny piping. But if you want, you can go ahead and use whatever you want, but otherwise it's going to come in red. So if you do like the, you know, kind of red piping, you can definitely keep it the way it is. But I went ahead and painted some gold, painted some silver. Even on the top of the neck part, I went ahead and painted some of that silver as well. And now we're looking at the arms. Basically the arms are going to be really awesome as well. The details is definitely going to be riddled with panel lining. So if you are the type of person that loves to panel line your kits, this is definitely going to be that kit that's just going to really excite you for the fact that you're just going to panel line the entire thing. But I would also say that if you're not a fan of it, then I would say most of this kit is just not going to be for you. You can definitely leave it panel lined if you really want to, but it's kind of your choice. I actually like to see the details more enhanced. Kind of keeps it more busy, but not too busy as if you're like, you know, kind of flooding it with decals or anything of the sort. Now normally I kind of make fun of the waist units because the waists are generally just kind of, you know, to me, bland. There's never anything that's, you know, exciting with it. But this one does have some, you know, cool little, you know, aesthetics to it. So it has these little parts right here, which I'm pretty sure are thrusters. And I know this part right here in the front crotch is definitely going to be thrusters. But it looks really good, and you can definitely go ahead and paint on the inside of that. I would probably say I'm going to probably paint that yellow in the future as well as these little parts. That's why I just really haven't done too much to it. But even on the side skirts, you know, the side skirts don't look too bad. But the back skirt is definitely having a resemblance to the Sazabi. You know, mind you that this is a predecessor to the Sazabi. But that back skirt definitely has a lot of great details, especially right inside there. Okay, now we're looking at the legs. One of the big noticeable differences you're going to see in the legs is that there's going to be some color separation with here at the top of the knee. It's almost real gray like because it's a lighter shade of white versus this kind of more grayish white, and I think that just really makes this kit stand out just a little bit more. Now on the front cover art, it's going to depict these two little kind of like triangle areas. Just going to panel line that red. So once again, using the Gundam marker is definitely going to be able to do the trick. I mean, these things are just so heavily detailed with a lot of great panel line areas. You're just really going to have a great time, or once again, like I mentioned before, you're probably going to have a little headache. But the overall details is definitely going to be inside there. I love the thrusters on the side of the legs. I love the bulkiness of them. It's not quite Sazabi-like, but you can definitely sense that, you know, they were really going for that bulky look before making the Sazabi. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at their articulation. Head moves up, down, rotates back and forth. Has a little joint right there inside the neck as well. Shoulders move up. They're on a ball joint, so they can definitely move around a little bit more. This little shoulder sleeve can also kind of rotate up and down. Swivel at the bicep. 2 points of articulation right there at the elbow. Ball jointed hand. Waist can move back and forth. It is on a ball joint on the inside, and there's also a kind of like hinge that's going to allow it to go ahead and have a nice little ab crunch like so. Front skirts move up. Side skirts move up. Back skirts move up. Legs move forward. Split. And can move back about that much, but if you do kind of just like mess with it a little bit, you could probably get a little bit more, but you're really going to be interfering with the back skirt, which pops off if you're going to go ahead and move it all the way back. Now there's somewhat of 2 points of articulation right here in the knee, so this one's going to be right here, and you should be able to get a almost 90-degree angle, but then there's also going to be one more right here, which is going to move just about that much, but you're definitely going to see that spread of the knee articulation, and it's just going to go a little bit more. So that nice split in the knee is definitely going to be a highlighted point of this kit. What I assume is the thruster can definitely move out. The front ankle skirt can also move up. Foot moves up that much, moves back that much. And it also has a side-to-side movement, so this is going to be really awesome with the display section. So now that we took a look at the articulation, let's go ahead and start taking a look at all the accessories that it comes with. The first set of hands is going to be the ones that can hold the accessories. These more rounded Neo Zeon hands. And lastly, a trigger hand to go ahead and hold the rifle. And now moving on to the weapons, the next thing we're going to take a look at is going to be the beam rifle. Now the beam rifle can also utilize scattering beams, much like the Sazabi, and it also acts as a grenade launcher. Now it also comes with a beam tomahawk, very similar to the Sazabi kit. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. It's definitely white instead of gray, but I think the white doesn't look too bad. It kind of just adds to the overall aesthetic of the kit. But yeah, I really do like the beam effect part. It looks really cool. Kind of do wish it was a little bit longer though. And if you're not using it, you can definitely put it right here inside the backpack. And we're taking a look at the backpack. The details on it is really good. You are going to have these nice little thrusters, so if you want to go ahead and paint those, you can. I'm probably going to go ahead and paint mine silver, and the inside might go red. I just hadn't really thought about what color scheme we would go ahead and go with that. But yeah, the details on it look pretty good. Now you also have the butterfly edge, which is kind of like a boomerang for the suit. It can also be controlled by the pilot himself, and they are detachable and can essentially be thrown. Definitely a neat little accessory that I don't really see too often, aside from like maybe the Destiny units, but overall it looks really good, and it's definitely going to be something you want to utilize for posing. Now the main feature of this kit is definitely going to be the Psycho plates. Now they all connect on the sides with a little adapter piece, and overall it's going to make it have a little crescent shape. The red is a nice candy translucent red, which overall definitely looks cool, and I think if you go ahead and paint underneath it, you might be able to go ahead and bring out those little effects. So on the outside they have these white parts, which they have an immense amount of details in them, but also they are supposed to act as both offense and defensive units. Now these are supposed to be colored yellow, which I'm kind of indicating are the thrusters, but I haven't seen anything that's really used for anything offensive, unless these like kind of circular parts are maybe, you know, kind of like beam emitters. That's the only kind of thing I can really think of, because I haven't seen anything online about how these are used offensively. Now if you want to connect the Psycho plates to the main unit, they have these little grooves on the inside, and this is basically going to connect to these points, and all you're going to really do is just snap it in. Now don't rotate this, because you would definitely probably snap something on the inside of here, but if you just keep it normal, you're definitely going to be able to keep its shape, and it's actually fairly sturdy, so you really won't have too many problems with it kind of leaning. You're just gonna have to put it in the kind of like, mess around with it, get in that little groove, and it shouldn't have any kind of issue. Now you also get a more solid piece, and I think this is essentially used if you want to go ahead and display the kit by attaching this to here. And then you can go ahead and utilize the connection piece right here to any of the Bandai stands, and this is actually going to connect on the back side of the crescent plates. And if you want to go ahead and pose it in the front cover art pose, you're definitely going to be able to with the connection point on the back side and then the more sturdy one on the inside. And you are able to go ahead and kind of form it into this pretty much quarter of a moon. Now, as cool as it looks, I really do prefer the crescent look, but if you do like this, I mean, I don't think it looks that bad. It's just kind of like definitely incomplete, but you can kind of just assume that it's stored, and that's really about it. And maybe when it's open, that's when the kind of like psycho parts really are active. So overall, I don't think it looks too bad. Now you can also use the psycho plates as a shield by connecting this point into the forearm and also connecting it to right here. Now in my opinion, I wouldn't use what I would just assume is like fin funnels as a shield like this. I would probably maybe use them a little bit more away from me, but hey, if you need to use these because it's a kind of clinch scenario, hey, by all means go ahead and utilize them to your best ability. And when it has height comparisons, you can definitely see it when it comes to the Sazabi, which it's kind of weird. This is a prototype, but this is definitely something that develops from it. But look at that height difference. It's definitely going to be pretty much taller than it, and this actually has like legs kind of spread open a little bit more, so this is probably just going to be a little bit extra tall. Then you got this one, which RX-78 is definitely a smaller kit, so it's going to be a little bit smaller than it, but hey, kind of is what it is. This is definitely more on par with like maybe the new Gundam. So here are my final thoughts on the kit. For a high grade kit, this definitely exceeds my expectations when it comes to high grades, and I'm really hoping that we kind of see this moving forward. Although we're not really going to see this in the Build Divers line or any of the Build series, because a lot of times these kits are going to be rehashed of old molds. Now, unless like maybe one of them takes this mold and makes into a Build Diver kit, then that's the only way I'm really going to be able to see other lines pretty much get on par with this one. And it's usually been consistent with the Universal Century kits. I've seen other kits, stuff from like the Seed era, but mostly it's definitely going to be the UC kits that are just going to keep on blowing our expectations out of the water. So in the future of the high grade line, even if we don't get things that are exactly on this level, I do hope we get some things that will kind of be close and slightly resemble the articulation level of detail and just everything else about this type of kit. So if I had to go ahead and say, whether this kit's going to be worth the purchase or not, I absolutely think it is. Even though, some people might say the price tag's a little bit up there at 3,000 yen, I think it's very warranted with what you're getting in the kit alongside the base that's going to come with the kit. So if you are the kind of person that just really doesn't want to go out your way to buy another stand, definitely buy this kit because it's going to come with a stand, looks great on the shelf, and the amount of posability, the different like actions that it can actually pull off is definitely going to be something you're going to mess with for hours. But that's it for me, guys. Definitely thank you for watching. Stay tuned for all the next goodness when it comes to reviews, unboxings, and everything else. But other than that, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you later. Bye bye.